Welcome, folks, to the first trading day of 2021 with the S&P, the Dow, the Nasdaq all trading down. Heck, even Bitcoin is starting to sell off here, folks. It really seems if you're just holding gold or Tesla, you might be doing a little bit better than most, but I'm going to try and explain to you why the markets always seem to sell off literally the first week of the year. We're going to jump into the conspiracy of where the heck is Jack Ma, along with a few other tidbits of just what the heck is going on here, folks. Do the channel a favor, hit that like button, and let's jump right into this. Welcome back, passive income investors alike, and I hope you guys are staying safe because it seems to be on a global scale right now. There are multiple shutdowns going on up here in Canada, especially. We have it going on in Europe, and a lot of people in the US should be considering this a reality when Joe Biden steps into office January 20th, depending on where these numbers sit. Taking a look at Canada, since this lockdown began, we have seen numbers tumble down massively, and we're hoping this is a continuation in the trend, while the US still continues to trend sideways at some pretty decent high for those cases. But this isn't the particular reason that we're seeing the market sell off, in my humble opinion. And it always seems the first week of the year we see a correction, a sell-off, and this is primarily due to the fact that I'm speculating here, of course, because we're talking about fairly large numbers, but we chatted about this in our chat group as well, that a lot of people don't want to incur their taxes on their capital gains going into the end of a year, because that means they'll actually have to fork up that money to the government relatively soon. But if you can hold off to taking capital gains at least until the beginning of January, think about it. You do not have to pay tax on that capital gain for a whole nother year, which gives you a lot more investing capabilities, which is exactly what I think is going on here, which usually equates to a buying opportunity. We've all been desperately waiting for a sell-off. We know the markets have been getting heated here, guys, and we're taking a look at every sector. It doesn't matter if you're holding tech, except of course Tesla, if we're calling that tech here, which a lot of you guys have been calling me out for selling out too early here, folks, but I'm telling you, feel a lot more comfortable sleeping at night, just kind of mitigating myself away from that until more things get proven. Just because so many of you drunk bulls on this company keep telling me it's not a car company, it's gonna keep running here, but then why do we care so much about numbers and self-driving and all these other technologies haven't advanced enough to start generating revenues? It's my Tesla case right now, guys, and I'd be real careful because it's only gonna take one hint of news to drop that 50%. I don't know how much FOMO can keep up, but heck, I don't mind being proven wrong if Tesla can run another 700% in a given year here, folks. Now, I have done some personal trades literally today as well. I sold some stocks, but I'm going to be kind of reiterating that in tomorrow's video. If you guys want to know what I'm doing while I'm doing it, you can come over to the Passive Income Educator, join our WhatsApp group, talk with me directly along with dozens other of investors. But more importantly, guys, Baba, that's where I put that Tesla money. I shifted it all over into Alibaba, and now there's this massive conspiracy theory going on of what the heck just happened to Jack Ma. He seems to have vanished, so we're going to jump into an article that I'm going to read through here really quick for you folks, and I'm going to chime in on my own opinion. And I don't know why people are equating Jack Ma to the actual stock price, as he no longer sits on the board of any of these companies, by the way. But let's just dive right into this with this article that most recently came out from CTV. Jack Ma's businesses are under enormous pressure right now, but the co-founder of China's most successful tech empire and legendary billionaire entrepreneur hasn't been heard from in months. Ma hasn't made a public appearance on social media posts since last October, which you can go onto his Twitter account and actually see that last post. And just over a week before, a much anticipated stock market listing of Alibaba's financial affiliate Ant Group was blocked by the last minute by Chinese regulators. Now, if you're not aware, this is what drove the price of Baba way down, because I think Baba has a 30% stake in Ant Group. It doesn't really make up for anywhere. I don't even think it makes up for 20% of the overall revenues. So this really isn't going to hinder the growth of this Amazon equivalent in China here, folks. But continuing on, Ant Group has been gone from preparing the world's largest initial public offering to being ordered to overhaul large swaths of its business. Chinese regulators have criticized the company for edging out rivals from the market and hurting consumer rights. Now, China was stating that it might hurt their financial system. It was going to be the largest IPO in China. This company is already the equivalent in revenue and scale as JP Morgan. So China was just kind of mitigating it, and they are backpedaling now, guys, because you got to remember, we are reading Western media here, which I have to say the truth is more led toward clickbait than reality, but I actually really enjoy this kind of media because it drives suppression in stock price. When you see an inflection between stock price and revenue growth, guys, and one's going the other way while the other's going up, it's honestly usually the best buying opportunity of your life. And we're gonna see how this pans out over the year. I threw, like I said, 6,000 US into Baba. I think I got about 28 shares. Pretty happy with that overall. But continuing on, Alibaba, meanwhile, has been probed in China for alleged monopolistic behavior. It sounds really familiar to the US comparisons here, guys. And the Wall Street Journal reported last week that Beijing was seeking to shrink Ma's empire and potentially take a large stake in his business, citing Chinese officials and government advisors familiar with the matter. Now, they're not talking about like just ripping the company out from under them. Obviously, the Communist Party doesn't want to lose control to these massive conglomerates. I've done this massive deep dive myself into kind of how this operates. Usually they just pick up shares in the company just to kind of make sure they have some kind of mitigative control over, you know, again, monopolistic behavior. Now, the big concern was Ma was even absent from the final of an African talent show he created, according to the Financial Times. The newspaper reported that Ma was replaced as a judge during the November filming of the last episode of Africa's Business Heroes, a television contest for entrepreneurs. As recently as of October 12th, Ma said he was looking forward to meeting the finalists during the online final on November 14th. Now, Alibaba told CNN Business on Monday that Ma had to miss the final due to a scheduling conflict. It declined further comment on his whereabouts. And honestly, if that is what Alibaba is saying, I'm gonna come back to that. There's a very important statement here that is getting very blown out of proportion, but I digress. Well, Ma no longer holds executive on the board level position at either of these companies he co-founded. He stepped down as Alibaba's executive chairman in 2019. He's still Alibaba's biggest individual shareholder with nearly 5%, worth about 25 billion. Ant Group said in a regulatory filing last year that Ma has ultimate control over the company and his personal wealth was expected to balloon after the public offering. He also frequently made public appearances to talk about his philanthropy work, which he made a major focus after retiring from Alibaba. His most recent post on Chinese social media platform Weibo, dated October 17th, for example, featured remarks that he made at an education forum in China. So let's just take a break. Let's take a breath here, guys. I'm going to leave the article in the description below. I mean, I don't need to leave this article. You can Google this. There are hundreds of articles that kind of ran with this story. I don't know who initially posted it, but damn, did it make for some good clickbait titles that people decided to run with. But let me throw in my own opinion here really quick for you guys, because I really love when the market gets stirred up. And if this is what is driving down Baba stock right now, I would be loading the bloody boat here, folks. Honestly, if this is what is driving the stock down, it's kind of a little ridiculous in my opinion. There could be so many reasons, and I think probably in the next week, due to the stir of this media, we're going to see him reemerge somewhere. If somebody that doesn't have control over the company anymore, even though he's a majority stakeholder, he stepped back here, guys. He could disappear, unfortunately pass away. Not that I'm presuming any of that happened. I don't think it should inflict the company. It's not going to change the revenues at this point. And honestly, I think one of two things is going on here. Either due to the Communist Party investigating these companies and blocking the IPO, and Jack Ma wants to turn his profile down a little bit, not to stir the pot any longer, and trying to stabilize the company, which clearly isn't helping as much. I honestly think the fact that these headlines are emerging so rapidly in the Western world to kind of protect the global stage, and as much as people like to villainize the Communist Party, they want to protect these global dominant conglomerates because they do bring in foreign investors and foreign capital into China specifically. So what is more likely, in my opinion? I don't know. Maybe he came down with the virus. He's trying to stay away from people, keep himself safe, his family safe. Well, he also mitigates kind of a lot of this friction between him and the Communist Party, even though, again, what he's saying isn't a direct reflection of the companies themselves. But honestly, if you did not manage to pick up Baba on that first major dip, this is going to be your second opportunity, and let's give it a week and see if he decides to reemerge. And my curious question is, if he does reemerge, is this going to drive the price back up as well? But in a final note, while I pass the question off to you guys to let me know what you think in that comment section below, I am trying to mitigate my own risk here, as this virus seems to be a hand reach away from me currently, and I'm getting a little more paranoid about what is going on here. So I'm just trying to be safe. Keep yourself safe, guys, because I want to keep slamming these videos out for you. So stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you guys tomorrow.